On this episode, I reveal that I'm an old man and I used to bring a portable CD players to tournaments.
Yeah, Dante! Woo!
Truth or dare got crazy! What's up, y'all? It's Dante, aka the Forensics Guy, and you are watching episode 5 of the Ask TFG. So, super proud of myself now that I'm releasing a new episode every week. If you are one of those speech and debaters that typically gets nervous, like when you do speech and debate, you gotta stay to the end of this episode. Hopefully I can give you some really great tips on that, because that's one of the last questions. Alright, so if you don't know who I am, I'm Dante, aka the Forensics Guy, and I am the world's coach when it comes to competitive theater, public speaking, and debate, aka speech and debate, aka forensics. Alright, don't forget to subscribe and make sure you click that little notification bell. That way, YouTube will let you know when new episodes are coming out. They are not the best at, doing that if you don't click the little bell, so you probably should click it. Click it now. I'm gonna wait. You clicked it? Okay. Are you subscribed? Because if you're lying to me, okay. All right. So let's do this. I'm super excited to be reading some of the questions we have here today. All of these questions are from my TikTok, so make sure you follow me at The Forensics Guy. I'm at The Forensics Guy on literally everything. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, even my MySpace. Check out my MySpace now. All right, so the first question is from Susanna Wilson. Susanna Wilson. It says, any suggestions on how to get back into coaching at a school? I coached for a small homeschool league for a bit, but I'd love to do more someday. That's awesome, Susanna, that you're trying to get back into coaching. I think that's really amazing. And I don't know if I can give you the best ideas on homeschooling because I'm not really affiliated with that. I think like the NCFCA might be one of the leagues that does that and some other stuff. I hope to get more involved with them soon, but I don't really know any questions or how to answer if you're trying to get specifically into homeschool coaching, if you really preferred that method of coaching. However, if you did prefer, if you would like to be with a school, I think one of the best ways that I can help you is probably check out the NSDA website. I usually just type in like NSDA jobs or something, NSDA forensics jobs or whatever, and the link pops up. It's a really great resource, and it has all jobs that are usually up there. I might be butchering some of the other ones, but I believe that the NDCA has one. And then usually certain local leagues will also have positions that come up, so you might want to click on those because it could be really helpful for you. Additionally, I think normal websites like Craigslist, you can literally search all of Craigslist. There's like a website to search all of Craigslist, type in like speech and debate and see what comes up. I like to use Indeed. I'll type in speech and debate as one of the keywords and see what comes up. Usually a lot of great positions there as well. All right, so the next question is from Sarah Grace B. It says, what's your favorite event? Man, I would probably say that the question I can easily give you the answer is poetry. Like, it's not even a question. But I was really thinking about other categories that I like that are maybe like second, third place and stuff like that. Poetry is definitely my number one. I love it. It's what I did since I was in 8th grade. It's been my number one category. I am so intertwined with poetry, and I really, really believe that I can do a lot of great work into poetry. I think I always did pretty well when it came to like state awards and stuff, and kids that I work with in poetry have done really well. I love poetry. It's one of my favorites. But I will add a little bit more to the context. I'd probably say my second favorite category is like a tie between DI and OO, and then third is probably duo and like HI maybe as a tie. That's just kind of where I'm at off the top of the head. So let me ask you all a question. What's your favorite event? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you go down below, type them, just let me know what your comments is. And if you don't want to type it there, reach out to me on TikTok or wherever else you know that I am. So if you got a MySpace account, log in. All right, so the next question is from just.indigenous.this.1. It says, tips for poi with a bunch of exclamation points. Tips for poi. I love poi. Poi is a really fun category. I probably would have put it in my tops too. I probably should have thought of that. I don't know, but it's a really great category. And the reason I like it so much is obviously because there's so much poetry intertwined with that. But if I had to choose, I'd probably take poetry. But the great thing about poi is that like you can use like the binder in so many cool ways. I think one of the best tips is probably to really focus on the movement. Specifically with this category, because when it comes to the movement, you can really define and yourself and do things differently than your competitors would. I think that when it comes to like the emotion and a lot of other things that are portrayed in something like poi, you usually can see like there's kind of a cap or like a way that everybody usually administers it. But I think that when you really work on your movement, the blocking, the way you use your binder, because you can use it as almost like you can use it as a prop and like really play around with it, and it's so amazing. And I'm assuming this is NSDA because I know different leagues might have different rules and stuff, but as far as I'm concerned, the NSDA, you can use your like binder as a prop. Like you can make it a butterfly if you want. It can be like a tent and like you can hide under and all types of cool stuff. And I think that that's really amazing. It's probably one of my favorite things about poi as a whole, and other categories depending on what state you're in and all that stuff. They have things that are similar where you can use those type of tactics, but I really like poi because of that. I would say that you really need to work on the physicality, controlling stage presence, and that's going to be one of your largest assets to being good at poi at the beginning. As you continue to develop, I think there are a lot of tips that make a lot of sense in terms of just, working on your volume, your differentiation in speech, which I'm kind of alluding to like your diction, but also the way I think that you make characterization like your best friend there. A lot of people forget about a lot of things like that. Because it's really cool. Like poi is so many different categories in one. There's a lot of different aspects and things to worry about. But I would say work on the physical presence first, and then start to really capitalize on everything else next. I am gonna do a thing where I'm gonna, I think I talked about it in the last episode. It's gonna take a while because I'm literally by myself, and it's really tough. I need the support and things of that nature, but I am gonna work on like an actual type of course or something. I don't know, like some type of thing where I can like teach the beginnings and the basics of every category. That way, if you're like, you could be at a school where you don't have, the funding or coaching, you can like see that and just know how to at least get started. I think it would be really great to have that as a free resource for so many people that are interested. Okay, based on time, I'll make this the last one because I did say that I was going to save this for last anyway. So it's from Carry Me. There's a lot of E's, so hold on. Me. Okay, all right. It says, how do you deal with lisp? And best way to deal with nerves. I think when it comes to lisp, I think that it's not a you problem. It's a community problem, and I think that we're still working on it, and it's not perfect, but I think we're gonna have a way that works very well eventually, where we can start making sure we relay that message to the judges, and judges are starting to be aware of the fact that a lisp it's just like anything else, where like I shouldn't down you and give you like a 6 because you had a lisp. I should be aware of your lisp and judge you based on the way that you are able to revolve your piece around that. So maybe you really can't avoid like 2 or 3 words that have that lisp, and you have them incorporated into your speech. I don't think it's fair to try to like penalize you on that. I think that I want to see what you're doing with the other words. I want to see how you're able to try to capitalize off of that and how smooth you're able to make that kind of transition. Don't worry about being so nervous about doing like, having those lisps come up and things of that nature. I think it's really important to just be as authentic and try to flow as smooth as possible, even with mistakes. I see a lot of times students will have mistakes, but we can get over it because they just go past it so perfectly, and I really admire that when it comes to presentation. I think that the best way to deal with nerves is to figure out what really works for you. So, and that is such a cliche and a vague answer, but I'll just tell you some things that work for me. I would say that one of the best things that work for me is music. Before like a round, I usually got my music on. Whenever I was, especially when I was a competitor, like my head was so in the game at tournaments. Like I don't know if I had like a iPod or anything back then, because I don't know, because I know I'm pretty old, so I don't know if those are even, I mean, they were invented, but I don't know if I specifically had one at that time. But I do remember listening to music. I think I probably had one of those like CD players, like the ones that, oh man, but nah, maybe, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, I used to like listen to music and stuff like that. I think it was really helpful, and it would really help me get past like all of those nerves. So for me, I love, for the most part, all kinds of music, but for me, probably the two best things, which are somewhat contrast, that really worked for me, was like more of the Broadway style music, because I really love that type of stuff, as well as like certain rappers, depending on like how hard the beat was or something like that. I think it could really get me into the right headspace. But I don't think that I have the best answer for that. That's kind of just what I use, and I hope that if that works for you, that's awesome and amazing. Let me know which rappers you want to listen to or Broadway sounds, and I'll send them to you. But for the people that are listening, feel free to make comments down below and let us know, like, what do you do to help with nerves? How do you stop being nervous when you're competing and stuff like that? I'd love to read that and just relay that information to Carrie me and figure out what we can do there, because I think that working on those things for nervousness and stuff like that is very important. Wow, this is the end. This is episode 5. I'm super excited. I have no idea where this will be in a month or two, but I enjoy doing this, and it's so much fun, and I really want to impact the community, and I think that using this, the podcast, and other things are going to really get me there. I am just super grateful for supporters like you right now, and hoping to continue to grow that. There's so many people in the world that do speech and debate, and a lot of them don't even know who I am, so I'd love to have that change. So make sure you like, subscribe, ring the little bell, all that stuff. Share it with any type of coaches, students, alumni that you think would really get a lot of benefit from listening to this. If they got questions that are very similar, or if they just want to watch as entertainment, I really hope that I'm entertaining. I don't know. So yeah, share it and all that stuff. And I will see you all later. Peace out.